So tell me who you are and who you work for.
I am Tim Cohane. I work for Uproar, and we are Hasbro's advertising and marketing agency.
Okay, and what has been your role in the marketing of LTX so far?
I actually work out of the Hasbro offices. I'm the account director on Lazer Tag, Nerf, Super Soakers, and a lot of Tiger Electronic stuff. So in terms of the Lazer Tag brand, I'm relatively new to it. I came to Uproar about 9 months ago. So really I've been working a lot on trying to rebrand Lazer Tag, come up with a little more of an aggressive look to it, and really try to figure out our best way to market that when we relaunch this fall, particularly within the TV commercial that we're shooting within the next month or so.
Cool. So if could one, without too much inaccuracy, say that you have had a big hand in determining the style of the packaging and
not so much the packaging. That's done mostly by Hasbro's internal packaging group, but more the external, marketing communication type stuff.
How are you going to approach the demographic, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, one of the reasons I'm out here is really just to kind of get to know some of the hardcore Lazer Tag fans and really talk to them about the product and what they like about it, what they don't like about it, and take that back and try to figure out the best way to come up with different communications that speak to the new,
how to spin
features and functions. Yeah, exactly.
So what do you think about this kind of event with so many full-grown adults and as well as, we got some 10, 11-year-olds? 6-year-olds.
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, I think one of the things that Hasbro is really trying to embrace is the culture of Lazer Tag and the whole, it's not just a kids game. It's a culture. There's a competitive nature to it. There's skill involved. So I think we're coming out to an event like this and meeting people like yourself and Dave, who are really hardcore Lazer Tag advocates and very active in the community. It's great, and getting the kids out here and getting their feedback and seeing what really resonates with them in terms of the new features and functionalities, and it's been great. So we're excited about being here.
Do you play Lazer Tag yourself? Did you play as a kid?
I do not. A little bit as a kid in some of the indoor arenas, but this is an education for me. So I'm excited to be out here and really just learn about it and get involved with the whole kind of community aspect of it, which I think is really huge, and another thing we want to get more involved with, outside of just TV advertising, but really kind of reach out and get Lazer Tag enthusiasts, create them, but also try to find ways to get them together and set up their own TagFests, nationally.
What's one of the things that you think is most appealing to the widest demographic? If you had to pick one thing about the LTX, what would you say is going to be its main selling point?
I think that's one of the things we're trying to figure out, and just from being out here, everybody seems to love the shot blast attachment.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that there's the recoil and the rumble pack and the whole reload feature, and that's all exciting and kind of brings out the whole kind of visceral nature of the product. But the shot blast is, one of the main reasons kids play Lazer Tag is, that you're shooting somebody, but you're not hurting anybody. That type of thing. It's not paintball, but that gives you that aggressive release and the ability to wipe out your opponent a little bit quicker. So kids really seem to love that, and even the adults. I mean, everybody's just very excited about the shot blast. So,
is there anything that after you took a look at it and seen people playing with it that you thought to yourself, well, why did they do that?
Not so much. I mean, I've spent a lot of time with the designers in house at Hasbro, and spent time here with
so all the whys.
Yeah. I know a lot of the whys. I'm really trying to figure out more from the consumer standpoint. What you all think, and how the marketplace is going to react to it, and maybe there's something that we're missing. When we go back and look at our TV commercials and different things we're doing on the website. I mean, what's really important to you all. So that's really what I'm here to try to figure out.
Well, if you haven't heard this already, the thing that I think is the most important right off the bat is always going to be encouraging and supporting the community.
Right.
Because the reason I started my club is because as a kid and as an adult even, it's a pain in the butt to find other players. Even when half the kids on your street have them, they don't know that each other has them.
Right.
And so there really does need to be a way for people to realize, oh, hey, this kid my age down the street that I don't really play with a lot has it, and we could hook up and play Lazer Tag.
And that's really what we're trying to do, particularly in our web effort, is to reach out to those, if someone goes and they buy the product and they go to lazertag.com or hasbro.com or whatever, they can find out who on their block has it or who in their region has it, and set up these, send emails to friends and just set up these little regional
Web 2.0 kind of thing going on.
I mean, I don't know if we'll go so far as, the whole social networking
No, please don't.
That type of thing. But I think we want to take baby steps in that, and really, that seems to be what people want with this. Not another video game. I mean, we have the video game attachment with the product, but really more of supporting the whole community aspect of it and really growing the sport in a lot of ways.
Have you noticed a difference in the impressions that LTX has made upon the younger kids versus the older kids? Older kids meaning people like me?
Not too much. I think the older crowd has a certain level of expectation, has history with the brand and history with Lazer Tag, so they have a certain level of expectation that's either met or not met. The younger kids seem new to it, so they just seem pumped just to get it in their hands and get out there and play and learn the game. Particularly the younger kids. We had a 6-year-old and I think a 9-year-old girl in here this morning, and they were just going crazy because I think they just drove by and saw this was going on.
Saw the sign.
But I mean, they're gonna go buy it now, and they're really excited about it. And
Great.
They both said it's going to be on their Christmas list, and so it's stuff like that, getting new people involved and seeing how they react. It's really fun.
Well, I thank you very much for having this
Hope
chat.
that was helpful. Sure.
It will be. We'll make use of that. Tell us who you are and what do you do?
I'm Brian Jablonski, and I'm director at Hasbro for Lazer Tag, Nerf, and Super Sockers.
And you're a director. What does that mean?
That means
Tell other people what to do.
sure. We have a team, a great team. We're about five people right now. We do all aspects of product development.
So industrial design, shape, and all that stuff. So could one say that how the LTX looks is your baby, or?
In this case, yeah, there's a few of us working on it, but I was a director. Had a number of people involved, Aaron Mead and Weston Bogey and Bob Brown. We're all a team over there.
So you guys all sketch out some stuff and get together, and you say, "Give me more of this, give me more of that."
Yeah.
Well, tell me about some of the things that you would say are your biggest and brightest ideas for this.
Well,
if not the functionality, then the appearance.
Yeah, well, definitely, we wanted to come up with something that had a feel of, not so much space age, but something that was maybe a little more aggressive and, in line with something like Gears of War or Halo. Yeah, there you go.
The H word.
Yeah, and originally our intent was to actually make these things out of the box look like they had been, like they were relics or artifacts or something that you might have found. Yeah.
Did that prove too hard to do in a paint kind of way?
It's from a cost kind of way, but it's kind of nice because I think that'll allow the enthusiasts to do it
I know
themselves.
people who will take a soldering iron to these things to make it look like it's been put through. What's your favorite feature? If you were to say, if it were to be your decision how to market it, what would be the thing that you really plug hard?
Things here. Just one. I like the way it reloads.
Reload handling,
I like that first
like that.
Bringing the light up dome when you take a hit. It's a great feature, so you can see across the field when you actually hit somebody.
Is there anything, at this point, it's a done deal pretty much, but is there anything that you would have done different?
There's always
what's your least favorite thing so far? Next time around, you might do it.
Well, I think we're just gonna continue to. I guess right out of the gate, it would have been great to include more than just the one module. In the video. I think our vision was that you get this tag and you get like 3 or 4 of these modules. You can only imagine what they could have been, right?
But that's going to be something down the road.
Exactly. So our plan has changed, and it's not so much that we're not going to do it; it's just that we're going to do it in a different way instead of all at once.
Kind of like how the configure idea set bigger, better, and
that's exactly
longer.
where it started.
Yeah.
Hopefully it works okay in the sun.
So instead of being able to offer them all at once, every season. Make you go out and buy more.
I'm good for that. What is your perspective as far as a player? I mean, did you play laser tag as a kid?
Yeah. Yep. We still do. We actually go to the
Laser Quest, one of those places, indoor arena. You still go there regularly. You got a group of people who go there.
That's what I get paid to do. Not a bad.
So is arena your main laser tag thing? So as an arena player, what do you think about
I'm pretty sad outdoor of it. Yeah, I mean, once again, direct sunlight, being able to make sure you see the guy. When you're in the arena, you can always tell.
Yeah.
So that was important.
What kind of attachments are you guys thinking about for the future? Can't talk about that.
Can't talk about it, but
I'll tell you
your
what.
imagination.
I'll tell you what people want. The first thing, if somebody were to say, what would you bet is the next thing?
Yeah.
I always say sniper, because you've got your regular, you've got your CQB. Sniper's the next thing that people are going to want. So, and of course, people, we know that the technology is capable of cool things like pneumatic boxes and ammo boxes and all sorts of stuff like that. And you guys are your heads are swimming in ideas, I'm sure.
Too many.
You got to figure out which ones the market will bear.
Use your imagination. I'm not at liberty to say.
Yeah, gosh darn you. Let's see. Thank you very much for your interview. Okay, tell us who you are and what you do for laser tag.
I'm Tag Ferret, and I write the code and for the most part develop the circuits. And try and figure out the best gameplay that I can, and listen to as much advice as I can get out of all the enthusiasts.
So you developed the core electronics of the Phoenix LTX, essentially, or
the core software, the electronics in the Phoenix,
You guys need more
for the most part, was probably about 80 to 85% my work. The LTTO gear was circuit-wise was probably a third to a half mine, and the rest my boss David Small. 'Cause I'm not an electronics engineer by training. I fall into it sideways. I'm a software guy by training. So basically, what I try and do is I try and translate role-playing games or online video games into something that we can play in the real world and have fun with.
So what would be your favorite? Actually, let's start with what was the biggest challenge in writing the software for the LTX?
The biggest challenge for the LTX was actually trying to get all of the functionality that we'd had in LTTO into a processor that had only a fraction of the power. So we actually ended up splitting it between a couple of different processors in there. So we have a network of processors in there now, and trying to get them to communicate and not mess up, and not get confused by which each one was sending was the biggest challenge of it.
So what's your favorite feature as the designer? What was the most fun for you to put in there?
Most fun to put in there.
Or excited to put in there,
Well, the most excited I am to put in there is to be able to maintain compatibility with the old LTTO gear, because we just poured our hearts and souls into developing the LTTO protocol. And so to be able to keep that going forward and to have a common base that we get to continue to move forward with, that the clubs can continue to use, to me was the most fun aspect of it. But it's an awful lot of fun to just rack this sucker.
So as a player, what's your favorite feature?
As a player, my favorite feature is the way that it is very physical in terms of reloading. The Deluxe, of course, had the lever that you operated on the front of it. But this model here with the clip kicking out, the shotgun being racked, it's just more fun to play with. It's a blast. It's more interactive, and to me, that's what really makes this model great.
Is there anything that you're kind of disappointed in, or that you would put at the bottom of your list of features?
I would have loved to have been able to continue on with having the LCD. I really enjoyed the ability to display so much information on the LCD. So it was quite a challenge to figure out how to display what I wanted shown on these LEDs. But in the end, I think it turned out pretty well. Just with the exception of not being able to get head-to-head data. I really would have liked to have better head-to-head data. But we have some plans for stuff in the long term on that, in terms of hosting stations and things that'll be able to get that data for everybody.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Welcome.